thanks so much for joining me today. I'm excited to share and let you know that Simon Says Stamp is hosting a very special blog hop. This is the Very Merry Christmouse blog hop. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. Basically what it is the Simon Says Stamp Merry Christmouse stamp set, which was a collaboration set between Fawn and Simon Says Stamp back on Stamptember of 2015. That stamp set was so popular and so hot, and everybody really loved it. And so as a special treat for you this year, Simon Says Stamp is bringing it back so that you can go ahead and grab it if you didn't get to catch it last year. Also, in celebration of the fact that we're bringing this stamp set back out again, Simon Says Stamp is hosting a very special blog hop. I'm not part of the blog hop, but I wanted to let you guys know about this and also share some inspiration using the Simon Says Stamp and Fawn Merry Christmouse stamp set. Bear in mind that the stamp set is only available for this short period of time. Once it's gone, it's not being brought back again, so make sure you get it now before it's gone completely. Okay, so the card that I'm going to be creating today features that Merry Christmas stamp set. I also used the Chibitronics light set. Now, those of you that are familiar with the Chibitronics light set, you know that this is a really cool interactive piece that allows you to create some really fun light up cards. I'm going to use this today to create a light up glowing effect on my little cheese tree here. I'll show you how easy it is to do that. First, let's take a look at the stamp set. Here's the Merry Christmas stamp set. There are also coordinating dies which are available as well. I'm going to be using many of the images there on the right hand side. I'm going to be using that mouse with the present, the mouse with the Santa hat, and I used the present itself and also the tree. I also did stamp that third mouse, but I ended up not using him because at the time I wasn't really sure how many images I was going to be including on this card. So I stamped all my images with some My Favorite Things Black Licorice Hybrid ink. This is a good ink for Copic coloring, which is what I'm going to be doing here on these images. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play some music and let you see how I color these images, and then I'll come back in a couple minutes when I'm ready to go ahead and start using these images on my card. Alright, now that we finished up our coloring, it's time to go ahead and start building this card to create our light up effect. So what I've got here is I've got a 4-inch piece of cardstock that's cut to a square. I've die cut it with a Pretty Pink Posh mini storybook die set. And then I also have a second piece of cardstock behind that that's slightly smaller than 4 inches square. These are what's going to build our light up piece. Now you'll notice that dot that I made made on the paper, that's to let me know where I'm going to be placing the light and what area is the positive and which side is the negative. I'm cutting a little piece of paper that's going to hold my battery in place. It's also going to allow me to put the positive circuit onto this as well as the negative. Now, I will mention that electrical stuff like that isn't really technically my area of expertise. So if I have any areas where it sounds a little strange, I don't have the right terminology. It's not my forte. Give me a computer and I can tell you all sorts of things about it. So what I'm doing is I'm putting that piece of paper onto my cardstock. That's going to allow me to sandwich my battery inside of that cardstock and hold it in place. I'm going to start putting my copper tape onto the paper. I'm going to start with the negative circuit first. As I lay this down, I'm making sure I press it down pretty good, and I'm also removing the adhesive backing a little bit at a time so that way the tape doesn't end up getting stuck to somewhere I don't want it. Now, originally I thought I was going to be building a different circuit path than I ended up finishing off because this circuit path didn't end up working out. What I was going to be doing was I was going to have the tree have the copper tape on the backside, and that was going to allow me to then press on the tree and light up the card, but it didn't end up working out at all. So I ended up going back to the old standby, and I ended up covering up that little gap there over by the negative portion of the circuit. So after I've attached the tape down onto my card, following the circuit path that I need, I'm going to make sure I press this down really, really well and get that tape burnished onto the cardstock. Now I'm going to attach my little light onto my copper tape, and I'm using the yellow light here. Now, if you're looking to do different circuits, definitely check out the beginner's kit for the Chibitronics light set. That Chibitronics light set, the beginner kit, comes with a booklet that talks about all the different circuits that you can create, lots of ideas. It's a really, really great book. So here I've added on some tape to the back side of my battery cover, and I'm placing one of the little squares that were from the storybook mini set. You can see how by pressing on that battery, we light up the light perfectly. I think this is really fun. I'm also going to add some foam tape inside of the other two squares. You can see I love pressing that light. It's so much fun. Although the problem is if I keep pressing it, the battery's going to run out before I even give the card to somebody, so that's silly. Alright, so now I'm also attaching down the little squares that were for the largest rectangle and then the little square that goes above where I have my battery. And I've got 2 layers of foam tape underneath each of these panels. After I've attached all those pieces down, it's time to add my little elements. I die cut these with the coordinating dies in my Big Shot machine. And now I'm popping these up with a mixture of foam tape and regular adhesive. The presents I layered under the tree. The mouse with the present I'm going to adhere straight down with regular adhesive so that way it's easier to press on because he's going to be the part that you press on to get the light up effect. I'm also attaching the little present that's going to go with my Santa mouse, and I'm going to attach that with some regular tape, and then I'll use some foam tape for the Santa mouse. After I've added a little frame using the My Favorite Things scalloped frame dies, I'm going to take some Lawn Fawn plaid paper. This is the Perfectly Plaid Christmas pack, and I'm going to cut this slightly larger than our little square here. The trimmer I'm using here is the Mini Tonic trimmer. I really love it. I'll have that linked in the video description along with all the other supplies that I used in this card. I'm attaching some double-sided adhesive to the back side of that square, and then I'll go ahead and lay this down onto my card base. The card base was a Nina Solar White card base cut to a square, and I layered that plaid paper right on top of it. For some final embellishing, I'm taking a sparkle pen from Spectrum Noir. I'm covering the tree, the bows on the presents, and some of the little elements that are with the mice. And I'm going to add a lot of sparkle and shine to this card. I think it's really pretty. I'm also going to add some glossy accents to not only the eyes and the noses of each of these little mice, but I'm also adding it to the bows on the presents because I think adding it to the eyes really gives a lot more dimension to the eyes, but then also to the presents as well. Helps them have a more dimensional feel. Helps them stand off with the presents a lot better. So I hope this has inspired you to try out some Chibitronic lights and also to give you some ideas for using the really super cute Merry Christmas stamp set from Simon Says Stamp and Lawn Fawn. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below and head on over to my blog to get more information not only on this card, but also on the blog hop. Thanks so much for stopping by and spending some time with me. If you enjoyed this video, here are a few more you might like featuring Simon Says Stamp exclusive products. Please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can connect with me on social media at Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, as well as my blog. Thanks for watching. I will see you again soon.